Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here, and welcome to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have the new SBC Petit card to review today. We're taking a look at a card who is 6'1", high work rates, left-footed, 3-star skills, 3-star weak foot. So by default, you want to use this card as a more defensive-oriented card because of the height. And from previous years, I'm pretty sure he has like a bigger body type. Yeah, so he has a high and average body type, right? So you want to use him mainly defensively. You want to see how he is in that kind of area of the card. So with Petit, guys, let's see if he's working with any traits. Outside foot shot trait. So outside foot shot trait is obviously nice to have if you go for a long shot from time to time, right? Because to be fair, his shot power and long shots is in a pretty decent area, but this is a card that you're going to give a shadow chemistry style to. I wouldn't really recommend giving him anything else. You could give him an engine, but I feel like it'd be incredibly pointless to give an engine to a card like this, unless you really want him to feel as responsive as possible. Because again, if you were to unlock a card like this, it's because you have the intention of using him as your defensive oriented card. With his pace, he's going to have 95 acceleration, 93 for sprint speed, which is pretty decent for the meta of the game. To be honest with you guys, in this game, it's always nice to have way higher because the through balls and lob passes are crazy, but still in a pretty decent area for a card like this. Like I said, for shooting stats is actually set up nicely for him, just in case you do want to take a long shot from time to time. We're going to be using balance instructions for the CDM to test out work rates and to test out, what he's like coming back, pushing forward, all that stuff. Passing on the card actually set up nicely as well, which is fantastic for a midfielder, but he does have a 3-star weak foot, so you do have to be mindful of that. I don't necessarily mind it too much because if I'm using like a 2 defensive mid setup, he's going to be the left guy, right? Because of him being the left-footed player. That's usually how I like to go with things. Dribbling for the card. So his dribbling is low because of dribbling stats being low, 75 for balance. So the dribbling on this card, again, you want to use them mainly defensively. You don't want to use them as an attacking-oriented card, pushing forward and stuff. On the Shadow Chemistry style, guys, this card is going to be working with really good defensive stats. The only thing that's going to be lowish is defensive awareness, but as usual, high work rates is usually the more important thing to have. And then for physical capabilities, the card doesn't really have good jumping, but he has really good physical stats, right? Physical stats is going to be at a 93 for aggression, 91 for strength, while working with the 6'1" height at a high and average body type, right? So some pretty decent stuff there, right? Some pretty decent stuff. But guys, with Petit, we're going to be using him in the 3-5-2 tactic. On the instructions of just balance. We're not going to do anything with it. We have the cover wing on it just in case to kind of test out certain things here and there. So yeah, we'll see how he plays in game. Hopefully he is a beast. Oh, Petit's going to have the hair trait, eh? You're going to have the hair trait, buddy. Legrand switch with Petit. Nice gold, nice gold. He almost got that animation, though. Nice little double challenge there. So I'm noticing that his high work rates is definitely a good one, which it usually is for most of the cards. Even Hector Herrera moves nicely. But Petit's a little bit different, though, because he has like the body type for it, right? So I'm going to switch off of him here. Yeah, commits into the middle space well enough. Nice pass off too. So we got really unlucky with the, I guess, the deflection there, but you can see that Petit, defensive AI-wise, is actually the one that gets the ball there. That's like a big thing in this game is AI kind of doing that work for you, right? So I'll trigger action again with Petit. His long shots are not that crazy. Like I've tried a few already on like a white. Nothing gives there. Oh, Schweinsteiger. It's unlucky. I was trying to go for the Sterling run there actually. I'll position there Petit for the clearance. I like Petit's positioning. The positioning is solid so far. See, there he is again. Probably could have conceded. I probably could have conceded a deflection there. Well positioned, Petit. We'll take that goal. Oh, absolute rats. Well done, Petit. He's definitely a player that you get in your team because you want to use him in a more defensive way. Like, you don't really want to get him involved in the attack. Although in this 3-5-2, you can clearly see that with his work rate, he will involve himself from time to time, right? Oh, unlucky. Get this one, though? Oh. He has a very, like, physical feel to him, you know? Definitely has that very physical feel. A weak foot pass there. Second man press to block the area. Bad pass by me. Oh, almost. Good animation, though. Switch off of him here. Yeah, defensively, he's a solid player, man. Very, very solid player. Oh my god, you guys are crazy, man. You guys are such rats in this game, man. Such rats, man. This community is just filled with them. You waste my loans like that. Filled with them, bro. Filled with them. Second man press. Oh, good tap, Petit. Backs back quickly enough. Okay, guys, so final verdict on the new Petit SBC. So, it was like I was saying earlier, guys, if you're going to unlock a card like this, okay, you want to use him mainly as your defensive-oriented player. I'm going to be honest with you, man. His positioning in the defensive third is very good. I like his work rates a lot. He feels like a very good defensive-oriented high-high. Obviously, with some high work rated cards, they're both good at attacking and defending. This card will sometimes push forward because of the way that his attacking stats are set up if you run him on balanced instructions, okay? You want to unlock this card to use him as your stay back while attacking CDM. In my case, we were using him on balanced instructions as a CDM. This is not how you want to use this card. You want to use him on the stay back while attacking. So for the pro player's 3-5-2 tactic, this is not the type of card that you want to use. Schweinsteiger you can use more because, you know, he's both good at attacking, defending, although you have to work with body type and height. With Petit, more defensive oriented. So you want to keep him on that stay back. You could totally rock with a team like this, though, 100%, because with Petit being the more defensive oriented high work rates compared to the Schweinsteiger card, for instance, his defensive stuff is actually a good balance to work with when it comes to Schweinsteiger sometimes pushing forward. Because you can see that when sometimes I was using other players, Petit will position himself really well inside the 18-yard box, just on the edge of the 18-yard box. And I saw that as a very consistent thing. So again, very noticeable that in like a 4-1-2-2 formation, 4-2-3-1, 3-5-2 on the stay back, that's going to be the more ideal thing. He will do that by default, even in a formation like this. It's just that you have to be careful because he has attacking stats. So he'll sometimes push forward when you don't really want him to, right? So you just want that balance in your team as much as possible. When it comes to dribbling, like I said, the dribbling stats on the card is set up in a way where you want to use him in that CDM position mostly, because with cards nowadays, working with a 6'1" height, high and average body type, the body type and height is great to work with as a defensive-oriented player in the midfield position. Now, the one thing that I will notice, or I will say, is that when it comes to manual defending, you do wish, right, that the initial explosiveness of the card to move into certain positions was better manually, right? Manually. But I still felt like he defended really well. Most of the defense in this game is AI oriented, where you switch off of the player and he kind of goes back into the position quickly. Because when you're controlling them, I tell this to people all the time, when you're controlling the player manually, running back into position, you're actually slower than switching off of him and him doing it himself. And I feel like the reason why that's the case, because they probably work with like the aggression stat AI wise to kind of push them back into position and stuff. But it's kind of how it is, right? So is this SBC worth unlocking? So let's take a look at his price as an SBC here. 443k. So it's actually 70k-ish cheaper as an SBC than it is for you to buy it off of the market. That's not too bad. For a player that is French, that gives you French links in the midfield position, not too bad to work with if you actually want to use them in a more defensive-oriented way. So I'm not completely against the SBC price by any means, especially since he's significantly cheaper than he is as a market value player. Do I think he's some sort of like full meta monster? Absolutely not. But if you want to use him as your defensive-oriented midfielder, he's going to be pretty solid for what it is. I just prefer to have players that are great at doing both, like a Bastian Schweinsteiger icon moments card, right? So it just depends, right? I don't like that he doesn't have a 4-star weak foot either. I always like to work with that 4-star weak foot. But again, a card like this, you want to use it mainly defensively, so it's not necessarily a big issue. I like the SBC price. The card performs well defensively in game if you're going to be using him mainly in that way. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy this video today. I'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace out, dudes. Love you guys.